Alright, so welcome back guys. So we just saw the first real mission of the game where we took out a whole lot of those tanks again, some aircraft, and a few light mechs, so nothing too serious. But we're just starting to really get into the game proper now, that's for sure. And there wasn't really any salvage at all except for this fellow here. So this is the Cougar. It's a light mech, it's probably my favourite light mech. It's got so many options here for just the components alone. It's a lot slower, which I actually like. Even though the whole idea of the light mech is that you're fast and manoeuvrable. It's still got jump jets though, so it's very manoeuvrable in that sense. You can jump over people and all that sort of stuff. So in particular, I said there are a lot of components. You got the BAP, so increases sensor range, decreases your missile lock time. You can see in the dark, jump jets like I talked about, and your laser anti-missile systems. So it's pretty customizable. I'm going to leave the BAP on, that's for sure. I'll show you why. It's a light mech, but it's still got two long-range clan long-range missiles. So these fellows are going to be amazing. Like if you were for some reason doing a skirmish, like an instant action mode, you just want to screw around with light mechs and light mech enemies, this would be a great one to play with. And in Mechwarrior mercenaries, we can play in light mech tournaments. This is definitely what I always take in. And you can see it's got two large lasers and it's a light mech. Like that's incredible. That's so much firepower. Look at it. Then it's got, you know, your little peppering weapons, which are pretty much negligible. But all this firepower, which would be totally overpowered for a light mech with, let's just go back, this speed, you know, it's offset by the fact that its armor is just sad, really, isn't it? So, really nothing special here. There's a lot of room though, so you could take off some firepower and put in some extra armor into these, particularly center, torso, and leg spots. Now you might say, well, who cares about legs? But if the enemy's a good shooter, and we're playing on veteran difficulty, so they are, if they take out your legs, well, when one leg's down, you move about half speed or less. So maneuverability is just completely gone to shit, and they can tear you apart. And if they kill both legs, which they can easily do, you explode. It's basically an alternate way of killing you. So, I'm not going to customize this at all. This is a wonderful setup, I think, but it's good for you to see. Okay, so we'll go to the main mission screen now and see what the briefing has to say.
Uncle Peter.
Glad to see you made it safely down. I understand you encountered some patrols in your area. Steiner's in a higher state of alert than I expected. We were able to engage the Steiner dropship and severely disabled it before we lost contact. We took some damage, but we're fine. I'll RV with the satellite engineering team tomorrow. Get them there as quickly as possible. Knock out as many of the defenses as you can before we get there.
I'm working on it.
I'm sure you'll do fine. Elise sent another comm intercept. No big surprises, but I told her to pass it on to you. I'll be in touch as soon as I get the engineering group into the area. Take care.
We've been encountering some heavy resistance recently. I just wanted to inform you we have the repair gantry set up at the MFB. If you need to make repairs mid-mission, head to the MFB gantry and we'll get you patched up as best as possible.
Thanks, Carl. I hope I don't have to rely on it.
As do I.
Ian, I just wanted to request something about the lance.
Please, go ahead.
Here we go.
I'm used to being outnumbered, not being able to overwhelm the enemy. So I tend to try to get as close as possible to my objective using ECM and limited active radar scans before attacking. I think we're facing that kind of situation now.
You're more talented at stealth than some of us, Jen.
Well, maybe, but they're skills anyone can learn, and the only way to get better is practice. My old commander was a big advocate of carefully coordinating attacks so that the enemy wouldn't be able to effectively use his defenses against you. Using ECM, limited radar scans, holding fire until the last moment. In the situation we're facing, particularly here, I think this could be very effective.
Thanks, Jen. I'll keep it in mind. And I'll remember to draw on your skills.
Thanks, Ian.
Here's the transmission we intercepted from Vanta Castro. She's speaking to Captain James Cullen, one of the architects of the invasion. We suspect Cullen issued the orders to eliminate your family. We believe he's currently tasked with pacifying the populace and suppressing any loyalist uprisings. Transmission follows.
We don't know where they are. Haven't you been listening? I can't even verify if they're still on the moon. We must assume they're on the planet preparing to strike at us again.
Making assumptions in warfare is risky, Major. Look what it's already cost you. Don't ask me to loan you my toys if you're going to send them back broken.
If you had sent me veterans for the assignment as I requested, we wouldn't be having this problem, Cullen. I want 3 companies detached under my authority. I need to get them in place before it's too late.
And I'll be happy to pass along your request to Lord Roland.
I'm giving you an order, Captain. I want a solid spread of mechs and armor covering our flanks until we know the enemy's location and strength.
And I would love to comply, truly. But there's a shortage of dropships for moving personnel right now. Or hadn't you noticed?
Yes, Carl.
I don't want to intrude, young Dressari, but I wanted to suggest something. We can use any supplies we recover, no question. But while you're considering where to strike first, consider also that when we strike the mech outpost, we may be able to capture some larger mechs before they can even get pilots into them. The machine isn't dangerous without a mind to control it, and salvaging some more powerful chassis with no combat damage could help turn the tide in every mission afterwards.
Okay, so some pretty important tactical points there anyway. That there are going to be some mechs out there that are going to be powered down. You can usually recognize a mech that's powered down because it's sort of slouching forward. It kind of looks asleep, really. So it's really obvious that when you see them, they're not on, and there's going to be some way to kill the pilots. Maybe you'll see like a barracks or a tent nearby. Stuff like that. You take it out nice and fast, and presuming you win the mission, you get to pick it up at the end. So just before we go in, let's give ourselves some pretty war paint. What do you want? What do you want? I think so. Nothing fancy. Maybe there's another type of snowy one. Tundra. Let's do it. Alrighty, so here we go.
Lance, this is Control. You're nearing maximum detection range for the communication relay. Suggest you shut down radar and go to passive sensors only. The array is at nav point Alpha. Supply depot is at Epsilon. Once you hit the array, they'll have no way to call in reinforcements, and you should be clear to move into the base.
Acknowledge, Control. Moving to nav point Alpha.
Omega forward. Are you in position at Beta?
We're moving into the area, Control. We're encountering some rough terrain, but we'll be ready.
Radar off, running quiet.
Sensors online. Weapons systems online. All functioning systems nominal.
Walks into a bar with a penguin under one arm and a 3-foot salami under the other.
Clear the comm, Mechwarrior. Steiner may home in on any transmission, even bad jokes.
Sorry, Major.
There's the comm array.
Well done, Omega Lance. Not a murmur on Steiner channels. Proceed through nav points for fastest route to the supply depot. Intel indicates not more than one lance of defending mechs supported by combat aircraft. If possible, destroy any comm facilities at the base to prevent recall of local patrols.
Roger, Control. We'll take out any defenders and communication facilities. We'll try to leave the rest intact for salvage.
Intel patrols observed a couple of heavy cargo choppers touching down last night. Try to leave those alone. They'll still have a lot of supplies aboard.
Roger, Control. Leave cargo choppers intact.
Casey.
Casey here.
Now that the array's down, you can probably tell that joke.
Negative, Control. It wasn't that funny anyway.
Nav point Beta reached.
Close up and form on me.
Roger.
Nav point Gamma reached. Nav point Delta reached. Active radar engaged.
Attack my target.
Copy that.
Ian, we're seeing short-range communications from the base. They may be recalling their patrols. Better expect a few more visitors.
Roger, Control.
Just what we need. A few more people shooting at us. That's salvage.
Attack my target.
Roger.
Target destroyed.
Omega Lead, be advised, mechs are in short supply. We need to limit damage to any mechs we want to salvage.
Two scout choppers, inbound.
With passive sensors, they may need a direct visual to notice you.
Looks like those scout choppers have made us. Let's light them up.
Shutting down. Initiating repairs. Repairs completed.
Repair your mech.
That's a roger.
Approaching critical heat level. Target destroyed.
Acknowledge, 2-5.
Well done, Omega. We're sending in infantry to secure the structures. Once it's clear, we'll get salvage teams into the area. Should be quite a haul. Carl will be a happy man. Return to base, heading 170.
Roger. On the way.
I'm just happy we're finished.
So that went kind of messy for a bit. Casey Nolan, you probably saw, had a destroyed right or left torso, and he actually, that probably means he lost the weapon in the slot as well. So that's not great. And I almost died when I exploded the enemy mech too close to me. So, you know, we're still going to get in the swing of things here, but it still went pretty well. So what you see here though is we got some salvage. So this catapult here is a heavy mech, and that's beautiful. We don't need to just deal with light mechs anymore. Another medium mech, the Shadow Cat. A whole lot of weapons here. This is wonderful. Okay, so I'll go through them a bit now. The Flamer, that's just a flamethrower. It's only really good in like desert maps. Let's say an enemy mech blasts you with a lot of energy weapons. If you then just keep spraying him with fire, he can't cool down. So you can shoot him and he can't risk shooting back at you, or he'll overheat and shut down. Bombast laser is a heavy laser that you can charge and then fire off. So the longer you charge, the more damage you do. Got a whole lot of lasers, clan lasers, which are the extended range. Some pulse lasers. Ah, good, we can replace the destroyed LRM with this one. Some more short range, some lock-on short range missiles. The Narc beacon is a lock-on beacon. So say you don't have any lock-on missiles equipped, hit them with a Narc beacon, and then you can fire any missile you want, it'll hit them. Auto cannons. That's basically a shotgun. This one's more of a rifle sort of deal. Either way, they are both really amazing. If you can get lots of ammo on them, you can just shred people, and they generate no heat. And some shitty machine guns. Alright, so I'll just go into the mech lab. We'll check out, you know, the damage done, see if we can do any customizations, and then we'll end it up there. So we'll look at the catapult in a bit. We'll do that in the next episode, actually. So here, weapons. Looks like we were lucky. Even though he had a destroyed torso, the LRMs were salvaged. So that's quite nice. So I'm not sure if in Vengeance, which is this Mechwarrior 4, you can actually lose the weapons in destroyed torsos. I'm pretty sure you've got a chance to. Whereas in Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries, and the expansion to this one, Black Knight, if you get a destroyed torso, you definitely lose whatever weapon was there, because it's all been destroyed. So we came out of that pretty good, so thanks for watching, and I'll put up the next episode soon, hopefully.